Hi, I'm Daniel Rossi and I will be demonstrating sauteing. Before we move into the cooking proper, we need to make sure that our station is properly cleaned, sanitized, and our tools and ingredients are all organized and ready for the task ahead. As you can see, there is a bleach solution. Tools are stored in a sheet pan. The plate that we're going to be using is being heated. And we have clean towels and all the ingredients that will be part of the demonstration. Sauteing is typically done in a pan, a saute pan, and requires high heat. The fat in the pan is hot when it starts shimmering, as seen by the images. Before we proceed with searing our scallops, we will be patting them dry to avoid splatters and unwanted accidents. Also, before we sear them, the scallops are going to be seasoned simply with a little salt and a little pepper. For sanitation reasons and health department regulation, ready to eat food should not be touched with bare hands. That's why I'm wearing my gloves. The oil is now hot, ready for our scallops to be seared or sauteed. As you can see, I place them gently in the oil to avoid splattering and burns. And as you can see, the oil is actually releasing some smoke. That's an indication that it's reached the right temperature. I'm patting the scallops with my fish spatula to avoid cupping and having a much more even caramelization on the surface. The process will take only a few seconds. As you can see, I check for color. I'm satisfied that we are getting to the point I want to, and now I see that the scallops are ready to be taken out of the pan. I turn the heat off and I flip them in the hot oil, not so much to sear them again on the other side, but to simply heat them through. The part of the scallops that is caramelized is typically called presentation side because it's the part that the customer will see on his plate. I now move the cooked scallop to a holding pan, and I will place the holding pan under the heat lamp where I kept my plate hot. Despite being removed from the heat, the scallop will not cool down significantly and they will be ready for serving when required. I return my tools to the station, ready to be used again for plating. We start with the plate that was kept hot under the heat lamp, and we start with the first element for the plating, and those are yellow beets noodles, and they will be placed in the middle of the plate. As you can see, the reason why the gloves were worn in the first place. You don't want to touch food that is going to be served immediately to the customer, ready to eat food. I'm using my tweezers as well for better control. Now I place the sauce on the plate, and I'm using little drops, small drop, medium drops to give a little bit of movement to the actual presentation. Once the sauce is placed on the plate, I start placing little puffed pearls of rice, and that would add an element of crunch to the dish. Now the other element would be petit florets of little bunches, if you want, of broccoli, and they're going to be seasoned like everything else that goes on the plate. No matter what lands on the plate and at the table must be seasoned. Any and all of the garnishes. As you can see, I'm using my tweezers to place the floret, the broccoli floret on the plate for, once again, better control. I could use my finger, but sometimes they get stuck to the gloves. Now I'm placing piopini mushroom, very tiny mushrooms that have been sauteed with the same technique that we use for the scallops. And now I'm going to place the scallops in the middle on top of the yellow beets. As you can see, I'm lining them up in a straight line, and once they all place in the middle, I'm going to be finishing the dish with micro radish. And that is the finished plate.